best. No breaks when you're chasing success. You snooze, you lose, no redos. Only get one shot, there's no sequel. Have fun, love what you do. Live right, be your own individual. Stay sharp, play smart, this is your life. I don't know much, but I know you don't live twice. Don't waste it, yeah, don't waste it, yeah, don't waste it.
Hi everyone, this is Chrissy Morales, and I'm here with writer Chloe Burton. Hi Chloe.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm so honored that you brought this book for me today. Tell me about it.
Welcome. So, A Message of Love is a book that I wrote about a year ago. It's my first book. It's a daily inspirational. It's a collection of messages for women, as you can see in the front. It started off as me just writing messages to women just as encouragement in the mornings, something that I kind of needed for myself at the time, and people requested a book, and so I took some time to do it, I did get it done, and now it's available for whoever needs that encouragement and that inspirational message that just picks them up every day.
So tell us about the writing process.
It was a little, as a writer, it can be tough because you get writer's block. I did my own editing, my own publishing, so everything that you see in the book has been all me. It's my first time, obviously, and it's a process, and it's definitely a learning process. For me, writing is very personal, so writing something like this that's also spirit-based is something that I take to heart. It's not easy because I want to make sure that what's in it doesn't just sound like it's coming from me and it's my own thoughts and opinions, but also that there's some bit of it that you can tell that it's coming from the word as well.
Okay.
And it's also one of those things where it's I kind of get not offensive, but like sensitive with my work. I don't want anybody to look at it and say, oh, you know, that's this or that's that.
Super critical on it. You're like, oh, well.
So it's a little, it's one of those things where I took a leap of faith, and I definitely put it out, risking my own feelings and emotions and just trusting God with what he gave me. And it was a fun process. It was hard, but I got it done, and I'm actually very proud of it.
So what were the first couple steps that you took? Like, you first thought about this idea, right? You wanted to write inspirational messages. And then what did you do? Because I know you're a self-publisher, which is awesome.
The first step is to write, obviously. The process of it just kind of came as it was. My mom is also a writer.
Oh, so that's where it was.
Yeah. So I kind of asked her for her advice, kind of asked her for, you know, just tips on the process. I didn't really want her to kind of walk me through it. I really wanted to kind of get really into the book and get through the process kind of on my own and really learn the steps and see which way I wanted to go. Because most writers or most people who will talk to you will either sway you one way or the other based off of their experience.
Right.
It's either get a publisher or self-publish, and it's their own experience that they're giving you. So because my mom went through a publisher, I kind of didn't want her to push me that way if that's not the way that I felt was naturally for me. So just asked her for tips and guidance, and then a lot of research. Research is huge when you are doing something on your own, especially something that's going to be produced for mass amount of people. It's not something that you're just doing for, 5 to 10 people.
Right.
You want to make sure that you're going through the steps. There was a lot of steps that I missed that I didn't know of, things that kind of came up afterwards and I was like, oh, I didn't know I needed to do that. I didn't know I had to do that. Your cover art, like all of those things make a difference because you have to know what size they need to be, what font is appropriate, what all of those things. But it's definitely, like I said, a learning process. It's fun. I thought of it like a little project.
Right.
It was like a little God-given project, and I enjoyed it. I really did.
Now, with your mom being an author and a self-publisher too, how was she when you wrote it? Like, what was her feedback on it?
Well, my mom went through a publisher, so she wasn't self-published. I was. Okay. For her, she felt like, I went about it the right way that for me. She loved it. She was one of the people who encouraged me to go ahead, put the book out. She also was one of the people who was critical of my work and let me know this might not be right for what you want in your book, or, this might not be what you want to say right now in the book, because we had talked about this being something that would come out in different like in different series. So I was going to put out, it was going to be a series of books. So initially I had a lot more that I wanted to add into it. I wanted it to be like this really big, thick book of inspirational messages. But I was like, but it's not a reading book. It's not something that, you know, I tell people to sit down and read. It's not, the chapters aren't like stories. They're more so, you know, this is a chapter if you need encouragement. They're all labeled. So if you look in there.
So like if we went to chapter 5, it says growth.
Right. So inside of the book, you know, it tells you basically what each chapter is about. And in those chapters, there's a message that you can kind of go through. And, you know, if there's one in there that kind of sticks to you, hold on to that, read it over and over again if you need to. In the back of the chapters, I try to add something, either scripture or a song that stuck out to me that kind of led me to put that chapter in the book. There was just so much that I wanted to put in there. I wanted to put my personal testimony in there, and, you know, just for the request that was coming for the book. It's just a process of learning what's needed right now for the readers and what's not.
And what's your feedback from all the readers?
Everybody has been really, really great with giving me constructive feedback. I haven't gotten anything negative at all.
That's good.
Just about everyone was very patient with the process, because when I wanted to release the book, it just wasn't happening at the time because there were things that I didn't know I still had to do before letting it, you know, be out. So it actually took from the time that I started taking the orders for the book and was ready to print, I actually had to wait almost another 4 to 5 months before I could actually send them out.
4 to 5 months?
So yeah, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, this is what I was talking about. This is what I didn't want to go through.
The frustration.
Like, you know, of having people like having an expectation and then having to tell them something different. And some people aren't going to understand, and that's understandable, but some people do. And I'm very appreciative that majority of the people who were supportive of the book, waiting on the book, and who purchased the book when it first was dropped, they were very supportive. They were patient with me. They were understanding with me. The feedback of it, I've had people cry when they read it. I've had people who wanted to purchase it for book groups, you name it. So it's something. I've had men purchase the book, and it clearly says for women.
Yeah. Well, they want to understand the woman.
They have purchased it.
That's
so
great.
it's really cool, and it's something that I definitely am proud of.
Well, we're so happy to have you here and talking
you.
about the book, but we'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, you guys. I'm Chloe Burton, author of A Message of Love. I'm here with Chrissy Morales from TV Unsung Heroes. So grateful to be here today. Thank you guys for having me. Check out the episode coming up soon.
Welcome back. We're here with Chloe Burton, who's talking about A Message of Love. So I'm just so happy to have you here today, especially since this book is about like women empowerment.
Yes, thank you.
Tell me more about your women empowerment collaboration that you're doing right now.
Okay, so right now, as a result of the book, I have a event that's coming up next week. So I'm collaborating with Jeanette McNeil, and she's been on the show with you before.
Yes.
We've actually met through another health and wellness company, and then we became friends. And throughout her journey and mine, we've just been able to collaborate on so many things, and one of those things is women empowerment. So she has a Women Rise workshop that's coming up, and I'll be one of the panelists. And it's just going to be one of those things where I've done another event with Jeanette that she had in the beginning of the year, and it's just so beautiful to see all these women come together for, you know, a single purpose, and that's just empowering and encouraging each other. My book just kind of helps push that, because I can use things in it to kind of set the narrative for what it is that, you know, we're trying to accomplish. And that is just, women just need to stick together. Right now, we're in one of those climates where that feminine unity is just so beautiful right now. So I'm honored, and I'm so excited for what she has coming, and just to be a part of it. It's amazing.
It's so cool to have you here talking about it, because she was just on the show discussing about her first program. Tell me about that, because I know she said that there was like 30 different people and they didn't know each other. Tell me about your experience being in there.
So her, the workshops that she does are separate from the one that she's doing next week. The one that she's doing next week is going to be more so panelists that are coming together, different panelists from different businesses or different lines of service that are coming together that are going to put on this thing. What she does is really, really cool. It's like a motivational, almost like a therapy that she gets these women together, whosoever it is that wants to sign up, and then they kind of get together, and she has the full program for them that they do. So it's really cool. I personally haven't gone through that workshop, but I've seen the results of it, and I know other people who have done it. And I just think what Shanette's doing right now is just, it's really awesome. I've seen her growth from where she was to where she is now.
Yes.
And like I said, just being a part of that journey and being able to share my own journey with her is just, it's awesome. It's great to have friends that you can kind of go through your process with.
Tell us about how important it is to have that support.
I think it's crucial almost. It's something that you need to definitely not necessarily search to find, but if you can find it, cherish those people that you have that are a part of that process with you. And something where you're doing something like this where it's personal and it's your work and you have to publish it and edit it and tailor it yourself, but it has to fit for other people to be able to relate to it. It's important to have people around you who are going to be honest with you, who are going to be loyal to you, who are going to encourage you, because it gets hard. You're going to want to give up sometimes. You're going to want to throw in the towel. You may not even believe that you can get it done. So having those people around you who can kind of push you forward and tell you, you know what, this is, you know, it's just the beginning, like keep pushing, keep moving. It's definitely helpful, and it's motivational for yourself, and it's motivation for them, because some people don't even think they have that in them, and for them to know that they've been able to help someone else cross that threshold, it's really important that you have that going both ways.
And we love what you ladies are doing. You guys are empowering so many people. You know, just getting together and collaborating. I was just at an event, Collaboration Over Competition.
Nice.
And it was a women's empowerment event, and it was so uplifting, you know, to see other women get up there and just give their testimony and just spread a message of love and unity is awesome. So tell me, when you're going through trials and tribulations, what is it that you do to try and get yourself uplifted?
For me, prayer is key. I think that understanding that prayer is a precedent, it's something that you need to do before anything else. For me, as a woman of God, as a spirit-led woman, that is extremely important to understand, that having that as a priority in your life, making that become not a habit but a lifestyle, it kind of null and voids all of those negative things that happen, because things arise. You're going to always have tests and trials, whether you believe or whether you don't. It's just a part of life. But if you understand that it's not the end of life, then you can keep going. And as long as, you know, for me, a prayer life is important. You have to have it. It's almost as essential as breathing. It needs to be a part of something that you do every day. So for me, prayer is key. I pray throughout everything, and learning as I got more mature in my journey how to pray without ceasing and not make it be something that was optional. That was important. And
I've heard that so many times.
Yeah, it's definitely something that keeps you going, and it's something that keeps you afloat. It's almost like, you know, those are your floaties that you're wearing when you're swimming. So your prayer is what keeps you up, and the less you pray, the more you sink. The more you pray, the more you can stay on your back.
I love it, yes.
You know, that's just key for me.
If you've seen that movie Overcomer, it just came out. I went to go see it with my dad. And I was so touched because they asked, you know, one of the characters in there, I don't want to give away the whole movie, but they asked him, who are you? And the guy started listing all these things he were. And he was like, if you take that away, who are you? And the guy starts listing, you know, I'm a husband. And he's like, if an unforsaken event happens and you're not that, who are you? And he's like, well, I'm a Christian, you know, and I believe in God. And he was like, and how important is that to you? He was like, oh, it's super important. He was like, then it's a shame that that was the last thing on your list. I was taken so far back.
And it's the truth. That almost reminds me of like watching The Shack. I remember watching that, and I actually watched that with my children, and they were very receptive and open to it. They understood it. So that was really important to me, because a story like that is, you know, something that you want to be able to relate to.
Absolutely.
You know, but something that stood out to me in that was really his journey of process of learning who he was without the things that he thought that he needed. And I think that's really important, especially when you're living a life that's, you know, spirit-based.
Exactly. And we love that you're here to spread the good news and the good message. But we'll be right back after this short break, and we'll find out what makes her an unsung hero.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Chrissy Morales, the producer and host of Unsung Heroes. If you or someone you know has a positive story to tell, email me at tvunsungheroes@gmail.com, and you could be sitting right there. Welcome back. This is Chrissy Morales, and we're here with author Chloe Burton.
Hey.
Hey, so I was just reading this here, and it says, "These two shall heal."
Yeah.
Tell me, why is it's so powerful and it's so beautiful about being a woman? Why is it that you chose this to be the first one in your book?
I think when I wrote this, it was at a time when I kind of was going through my own healing process. I had lost a family member that was very close to me, and that was the first loss that I had experienced ever as far as like in life. And I think just at the time, overcoming that, it had been about a year, almost 2 years in after that happened. And I was still dealing with that grief. There was still some other, you know, just personal things in life that I was dealing with. And at the time, I just needed my own healing. So when I wrote this, I kind of just wrote this as a little message to myself, and just the overwhelming response that I got from it, from other women, just saying I needed to hear that too. I needed to see that too at that profound moment. I decided to place it in the book. It was kind of one of the first things that kind of got the ball rolling for me to write the book, was people seeing this and say, you need to write more.
Yes.
We need to see more of your writing. And there was actually, it was an Instagram post that I had put it on, and there was actually a picture that went with it. And it was just kind of one of those things where I was just showing my personal scars. Like, this is who I am. This is the flawed person that I am, but I'm still worthy of being also the woman that I am.
You're flawed but beautiful.
Yes, thank you. And it worked. It was so powerful, just the way that people were responding to it. And what I received from it was more than what I was expecting to get back. I was just really just putting out, like I said, what I needed to hear from myself. And, you know, sometimes you get that little tink in the back of your head, like maybe somebody else might want to see this too. And they did. So it worked. It definitely worked. And it's something that I thought didn't necessarily need to be confined in a chapter, but more so just like an introduction to,
I love it.
This is who I am.
Right. And especially these words here, you capitalize where it says, I am woman. I love that. The symbolism behind it.
Yeah, so that actually is more of, it's not just about me as a woman. It's about who I am as a God-fearing woman. We know who I am is. So I think what's so much more important when it comes to my writing is not just speaking about me, but speaking about whose I am and who I am. So when I wrote this and when I got to that portion, it was like, I'm not just a woman, but I'm also a woman that's chosen by God, and I have God in me. Yes. And so that's where that came from. And, you know, I'm so awesome that you picked up on that. Some people don't. Some people just think, you know, I am is an affirmation. And
no,
it
as
is,
a woman of faith, I know, I can relate.
Some people do. Some people just think it's an affirmation, you know, I am this and I am. That's like when you're a spirit-led woman and you said I am, understanding that I am means that God is in you and that's who's working through you is so important. And I just had to make sure that was a part of that.
And when I hear people say like I am worthy and just put a positive, you know, connotation afterwards, it makes me happy, because it's like, be careful how you use the word I am.
Right.
People don't think about that.
Right, they don't. And they don't realize that, you know, we say it kind of as a cliche, it's just a saying that, you know, words have power, but the word is power. And so if you understand that, then you understand how important your words are, because that's where, if you are of the Spirit, that's where it should stem from. Your words should come from speaking that which is going to be a kind of a force to help encourage someone else's life. It shouldn't just be just random thoughts and, random words that you formulate. Make sure that whatever you say, you mean it. And whatever you're saying is something that's going to make a change or make a difference, or at least leave an impact in the people that you're speaking to. You don't want to just speak, kind of frivolously, don't be cheap with your speech. Make sure that it has content.
Your words have power.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And that's one of the reasons why it's so important when I'm writing to make sure that I'm in the right spirit, I'm in the right mindset. I'm always praying before I write. I try not to write from a place of familiarity. I try to make sure that it comes straight from, it's downloaded to me and then onto the paper.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
It helps also.
Yeah.
When you get something like writer's block, I kind of take it as a moment where God is just saying, listen, take a moment, connect with me again, and then let's try this again.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, where can people find this book? It's so powerful. It has such beautiful messages.
Thank you.
I just want to share it with everybody out there.
Thank you. So the book is available. I have paper copies available, ready to ship. The book is also available if you want to purchase it electronically. The website is not up right now, but you can order through my Instagram, which is written _by CLEAUX. It's written by Chloe. You can order it through there, or you can order it on Amazon. It is available on Amazon. If you type in a message of love and you put in my name, you can order it and download it straight to your Kindle.
Well, Chloe, thank you so much for sharing a message of love with us.
Thank you for having me.
You being here is a message of love,
yes.
Which is why we want to honor you with an Unsung Hero Award.
Oh, thank you
so much, Chloe. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here and sharing, just such a positive message.
Absolutely.
Are there any final words you would like to say to the audience?
I just think the most important thing that I always try to tell people is just to spread love, give love, and also be receptive to receiving it. God is love, and once I understood that, I understood how important it is to have love in every aspect of your life, because the more love you have, the more God you have.
Yes, so continue to spread love, everyone. This is Chrissy Morales with Unsung Heroes. See you guys next time. Let's take some selfies.
Awesome.